Okay, so tell me a little bit about mantras.
Mantras is tools like dialing number to dial to higher frequency vibration, God, source, whatever we like to call it. And when we take down this kind of vibration, when we repeat them, then we initiate ourselves with this high frequency seed sound of the universe inside our own body, and literally we change the whole molecule, atomic or DNA structure inside our body to clean ourselves, to reach higher level of realization of ourselves, and to bring down the ego of greed, hate, attachment and different things. Yes, it's a frequency tool actually to change the vibration inside ourselves, so we can reach higher level of purification and awareness, or finally manifest our soul in the end of the day.
But like everyone who starts out with that is going to have some degree of doubt about whether it works or not. And you told me a really interesting story, didn't you, about how you kind of like started to believe that it actually works, right?
Yeah, in the beginning to repeat the mantra like Om Namah Shivaya, 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 and you repeat it for 1 day, 2 days, you start to think, I'm gonna get crazy, what is this? It's like, and then it's regular, you need to repeat the mantra like 100,000 times to get the initiation, or get one deity to your side, or like that. But finally, when like the first mantra, or which I was surrendering to, was to Kali, the mother of the universe. And finally, as more you do the mantra meditation, you become attached to it. The deity or the mantra finally find its place in your own heart, and you become one with the mantras and the energy.
You told me that you have to, like, you can't just say the mantra. There's like a certain mindset that you need to have when you're saying the mantra, right?
Yeah, there's 3 different levels. You can speak them loud, that's level 1. Or you can, for example, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. That's first level. Next level is to do it quietly and just move your lips. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And the one is to not move any, not to do any movement, and just repeat it inside your mind, which is quite difficult, and not even move the tongue. Yes.
And you have to stay super focused, because what you're using this, that's
Yes.
108 beats,
Yes,
right? And you have to stay super focused, because you have to count every time that you're kind of like saying that mantra. You have to count 1 time, 2 times.
You don't need to count, because you know it's 108 rounds.
Yeah.
So you don't need to count. After each 108, 1 mala, 1 round is 108. Then you just put 1 line in your book or something, and maybe okay, I need to do 108 rounds.
Because one of the things that I've heard about this is that, for instance, like there was a guy who knew a lot about scripture, who went to see Sri Ramana Maharshi, and he was saying, look, I was doing my mantra, I've been doing it for 5 years and it's not working. He said, you need to become the mantra.
Yes. And if you're repeating the mantra, just by thinking, nothing will happen. You can do like these 5 years. You need to use 3 different things to initiate the mantra. One of the things is willpower, love and devotion, and right purpose.
So when you were doing the love and devotion, like, who were you directing that to?
To the mother, who have been giving me this power of immortality.
Okay.
Which I went through.
And what did you do? Did you visualize Kali, or did you just like have like this, like you were feeling this love that you were directing towards Kali?
I was in the beginning. I was staring on a Kali picture.
Okay, yeah.
That, or you can stare on a yantra as well, or like a mandala as well. But with Kali I didn't do that. I did this with other deity of Kali. Kali have 10 different faces. So in the beginning I repeat the mantra, which love and devotion, whatever I know is love on my level of being. I try to project that to this deity, Kali. And to feel gratefulness and humbleness that she has been giving me this kind of spiritual experience of progress from this darkness I went through of these 11 days. And then willpower is another. Love and devotion is very high divine power in the universe. Willpower is another high divine power in the universe, which is like the manifestation of the whole universe. And then you need to have the right purpose, and the right purpose was to balance myself and find my soul purpose in somehow, or to balance the energy of this Kundalini power I went through. Because you cannot handle yourself really after an experience which, if you try to describe it for somebody, that is like 10,000 suns of explosion. That's the nearest you can imagine what you're going through when you're standing in this ocean of light and so on. Because you are in such a bliss, anand, and you want everybody to be awake, and you cannot sleep, and you have so much joy. But when you feel inside yourself, there is so much energy, so you just start to cry. It's like to explode. You cannot even feel inside, so you become empty or alone in somehow. Paradox. So I was giving this mantra to balance myself, and it helps. So today I have tools, and I learned the path of how to initiate people through the fire. The fire is the strongest way of purification. When you literally take the fire inside around your chakra and burn around all dirt around your chakra from past life and this life. There's many ways of purification, like Reiki healing, yoga and so on. But I learned how to use the fire, how to initiate myself with different kind of deities if I like, or initiate other people with Shakti energy and so on. And because the Naga Babas is devoted to two things. One is nature, Prakriti. Kali is Mother Nature. And the second thing is the fire, which represents Shiva, or the source, or is actually the fire is a stargate. If you put the right mantra inside, it's a stargate, and everything to your side come, so to speak.
So that's another thing that people aren't necessarily going to understand. Like, you're basically saying that the Naga Babas use the fire as an interdimensional doorway.
Yes.
And so they have gods that come out of the fire.
Yes.
And that's why they cover themselves in ash.
Yeah, in ash is more, ash have different attributes and different power, and you can initiate it with different mantra. You have all the 5 elements. Ash cannot transform any longer. Compared from this piece of wood can be something else. Ash is end station, so you have some kind of power into it. I'm not so in tune about the power of the ash, but there is Bhashma is name is there is a different technique how to use the ash for different powers. Yes.
And so, for instance, when you do like the Om Namah Shivaya mantra, like what benefits you get out of that?
Om Namah Shivaya is like the most common regular mantra which everybody starts when they do the mantra system. It's like a call for your soul to remember that it comes from the source. Om is the first vibration in the universe who created everything. Namaste means my divine power welcome your divine power. And Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva is our most inner self. So it means that Om, the first vibration in the universe, welcome the divine power of the most inner self.
Right, right.
So it says from the beginning Om until the self, which is here in this physical form, that there is connection from the first spark of the universe until your soul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the Naga Babas have a shortcut for their mantras, right? They like other sects have to do this 100,000 times, but the Naga Babas have found a way to
Yes, like
to make it shorter.
because I remember I did Durga meditation, and I started to figure out that I need to sit here like 2 months and repeat mantras for 6 to 8 hours a day to do this 125,000 times, which is like a regular number to take initiation. And I just told him, I reached this kind of level, I cannot put myself in position 2 months of my life to do this, that's under my value. And then shortcut, okay, there is shortcut that you just need to do 108 rounds, which means around 11,000 times of the mantras. And then the last round you put inside the fire with ghee and the flour and or different tools that you need to use. And in the last round, then you take the initiation and you have the mantra or the deity on your command, with only to repeat the mantra 1 time after.
And tell me about the time when you actually used that and you saw like how it worked.
First, and after this experience, when I took initiation with the mantra of the Kali, my guru told me that now you go to the jungle, where you have this spiritual experience, or where you have the understanding of it, which is Arambol in North Goa, in India. Because I told him I was there and serving one fire, and there's a holy fire there. Every day 40-50 people come and smoke chillon. It's like a Shiva temple inside in the jungle. We're sitting in the middle, inside, you climb up a banyan tree and you're sitting in the middle of the tree somehow. So I went there to serve this fire. I went there for 5 seasons. And in that jungle, he told me I would learn everything I need to learn. So I went there with the tools I was given from my guru, because I only spent 6 weeks with him. In total I spent 3 years in this jungle. And in this jungle I learned how to use the fire. And first time when I used the Kali mantra inside the fire, few hours after or like that, the whole jungle became golden color. Like the air was gold color that you could touch, and gold is the highest divine color. And then, shortcut story, thunder come, the rain come, the river get flooded, and there have not been any rain in the dry season for 20-30 years there, when I talk with the local. So then I realized that, okay, this is true, and somehow this is really work, and you could feel the energy of Shakti energy in the whole jungle in such a profound way, and then this golden color of just magical color in the whole jungle. And this jungle is one of the 7 divine jungle, where present time always have been the same, where electromagnetic junction are and is connected with wisdom and love power. And these 7 divine jungle you find in the Vedas, that at least in India, all the avatars or enlightened beings have been to different kind of jungle and make the tapasya, extended spiritual discipline. And this is one of these jungle which always have been the same in all time, eon of time before. Yes. So I went to this jungle, and there I learned the mantra system by myself. I made myself a Kali Duni. Duni is the holy fire. I took different kind of mantra initiation and so on.
What was the mantra that you were repeating? At that time?
Kali Das Mahavidya, Kali mantra, and Das Mahavidya is the 10 wisdom goddess of Kali. She have 10 different faces. So actually when I use that mantra, I don't only call to Kali, I call to her 10 different forms in one mantra, and they come to my command. And then after that
But hang on, but what was the actual mantra that you were saying?
Kali Das Mahavidya mantra.
The same thing? Or just that? That's it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then after, because you have 10 different faces or forms, then I went to different form of Kali. For example, Bagalamukhi, which is another form of her, which took me 18 months to take initiation because it was very difficult and very hard to do.
Why?
Because to get that deity is such a high frequency, and you need to be 100% of your capacity of joy and devotion and love. So sometimes I could just do one round every second day or once a week, because if I not was 6 o'clock in the morning, I took the cold shower in the glacier water outside the cave, and then, yes! Yeah, this is nice. If I didn't feel this joy, and I just try to do, I just do one round so I can finish it. With 2 different occasions, it's happened that I was in one cave and I was meditating. So I did, but I could not do more, less than 10 times. And then I start in the morning, and next time I wake up, everything is dark, and I'm outside the cave, laying down, and I don't know what's happened. And I just, what's happened with time? I just disappeared for like 12 hours, and now it's night, didn't understand anything, so I became a bit shocked.
So you were doing the mantra recitation for 10 times without having your heart in it?
Yes.
And you wake up like 10, 12 hours later?
Yes.
And
she just cut my head, so to speak, because I was not
wow.
Because I was just only maybe 90%, 95% of devotion, and I want to do, even if I felt so much joy and 100% of pure love and everything, like you are in love with somebody, I just want to do it to get one round finished, because I maybe haven't done for 1 week, because I didn't feel this full joy. And then I didn't understand what's happened. I just, what the fuck is this? And then it's happened again, and then I understand what it was about and so on. Like, I need to collect the yellow flower every day, I need to have yellow clothes on me when I meditate, and different kind of specific rules.
Why yellow?
Because she loves yellow. She's a 16 years old deity who sitting on a golden throne, and she just loves yellow. So when you worship her, you need to have yellow clothes or sarong and different things, collect yellow things. So every time I see yellow things, because I did this for 18 months, I immediately think about this deity, Bagalamukhi. And then I start to understand that it's very true and very real, these kind of things.
But once you finish the mantra, what are you supposed to get out of it? What's it supposed to do for you?
Different mantras give you different things. For example,
this particular one.
This one give you protection from dark things or entity attacks, or you can bring anything to opposite. You can win court case. It's like a protection mantra. Or
so you make, if you're in a bad situation, you can turn the situation into the opposite situation.
Yes. For example, if there's any bad, whatever bad you think that, okay, the police gonna take you, you're gonna die in the war, or whatever bad things, accident or whatever, when you use this mantra, it's like to like in the Matrix movie, to pause and you can duck bullet. Not that I say if you try to shoot me and I use this mantra, I will stop it. What I mean is like, this is a movie, I am the actor. This is an illusion, I am the actor. Somebody producing this movie, we call it God or the creator. And what you can do in this movie of emergency, of tension or whatever it is, you use the Baglamukhi mantra, then you press on pause. The whole movie stop and they take somebody else and you can exit and or you put awareness that they look in this direction of tension and you can go backside door, so speak, and escape.
And what do you have to do once you've kind of like activated the mantra? Do you just say it once and then you're done, or do you have to say it?
Yes, but it can only be activated by intuition, not by mind.
Okay, yeah.
So only when, say like when you get panic or you need to run from something, this is intuitional feeling. This mantra works on the same way. When you have this intuitional, okay, I don't need protection, I need to escape, I need to survive, I need to whatever, on that level. Protection is different. Protection is okay, I don't want whatever protection. It's not about surviving. But when you want to survive, you don't want to get catched, or you don't want to whatever drama, you want to escape, then you use this mantra by intuition. Yes.
And you were looking after this sacred fire, right?
Yes.
And you had a situation where you had to use this. Was it this mantra, or was it like something else?
No, this mantra is only for personal use or against the enemy. Enemy is actually an astral weapon. If Shiva have any kind of weapon, this is the weapon he used against the demons, but against the dark force, so to speak.
But tell me the story, because I thought that was amazing. This story that you told me about this guy who showed up and who was creating like a commotion around the fire.
Oh yes, so I was in this jungle for 3 years from time to time around this fire and keeping it alive, and because I didn't know anything about the tools I was being given and so on, so I needed to practice in this jungle to learn what it is about. And every year to this fire there is a lot of black magic people or reptilian force of whatever who try to take over this with black magic and to just create.
So when you say like a reptilian force, you mean that so a human being shows up and he's inhabited by the soul of some kind of reptilian being?
Yeah, at least when I look it in the eyes and when I have reptilian eyes, I refer to reptilian.
Yeah.
Or he was a black fakir, whatever, and every year he come and try to destroy or steal or something like that. And one day he was around the fire, and in that point I was not sitting in front of the fire, I was sitting like 2-3 meters above and just observing the people around the fire. And he was screaming and just making people scared or people in annoyed situation or feeling or like that. And then by intuitional feeling, I just did like that from 3 meters above, and he was maybe 5-6 meters further away. And when he looked at me, I just did like this, like a sword, and I just did, and I just repeat the Baglamukhi mantra. And then next time he tried to scream and behave like in a dark way. So when he started to shout, instead of shouting, his voice he couldn't speak. So because you have the power to stun people or hypnotize or like that, because he is a kind of weapons against the dark force. In that point I realized, wow, this works. This works, is unbelievable, but you can only use it intuitional against dark forces. You cannot you cannot use it against normal people when you want to use it like that. Is yeah, or that you get trapped or something. I use it sometimes when I've been in situation people want to catch me, whatever it is, and make me harm, and then I use this. They are not able to come near in search and yeah, like 3 meters. It's not possible. It's like you put like a doom or something like that, and then you can just go away. Or you put awareness on these people, that they direct awareness to somewhere else, or take maybe somebody else, and you just go outside, exactly like that. But very few times I've used it, and it's nothing you plan.
And so for people who are like interested in everything that you're explaining now, like if they want to start using mantras, should they go find a guru to give them some mantras, or can they start doing it at home? How should it work for them?
Yes, regularly we have internet and all these mantras out there. It's possible to use, but some of the mantras you should not use before you're ready to use them, because you can really harm yourself to take this high frequency vibration where you're not in the level to take that energy into yourself. For example, if you're not ready to surrender to Kali, if you have too much attachment or big company or too much greed or hate and stuff like that, you will enter in the worst nightmare you can imagine, because she will cut everything from you, hate, greed, attachment, in front of your face. So, and she is the path of the warrior, so it's very few who can go that path of really to destroy the ego, which means that everything you ever believe about yourself, you need to erase. It's like to total recall of the total mind of what you are, and acceptance that what the fuck yes, I'm not what I think I am, what am, yes, so speak. You can really lose yourself and become yeah, what to say, psychotic, or you're losing your mind somehow if you're not ready. It can be very, very heavy. You can go in the darkest pit.
If you've had like some kind of like big psychedelic experience, does it help, you think, to kind of like, you know, not be so attached to the ego, and or is it kind of like more of a case of, look, you know, you've had a certain set of patterns in your life, you know, for whatever reason, you're, you know, attached to money, or you're attached to sex, or you're attached to whatever it is.
Cheeseburger, spanking, whatever. Yes, of course, but there is many different levels of spiritual realization, and I think as more we realize different things, as more easy it is to lose attachment to worldly things, so to speak. And some people say, I don't have attachment. Okay, give me your watch, give me your collar. What? It's like,
Yeah.
but in this time of age, Kali Yuga, age of darkness and illusion, we need to have some kind of attachment to this physical world, so to speak. We need to eat. We need to drink. Regularly we need to have a home, at least to feel secure and safe, to be able to evolve. If you not really have a secure place or like that, it can be difficult. But if you are already on the path, whatever it is in the spiritual path, then you are on the path, and to own different small things don't mean that you have a great attachment to worldly things. This is the world we live today, that we need to have a base, we need to have a work and so on. But I refer to that if you live like a monk, like I was living around the fire for 3 to 4 years in 2 orange blankets, 1 chapati plate where you make the chapati, and 1 shinta, a steel for the fire. That was and one Baba bag, small bag. That was everything I have, no backpack and so on. That's to lose attachment. That's to surrender to whatever God, whatever existence. But everybody don't need to do it so hardcore. It can be enough that you work with yourself and really change yourself in your own practicing to become a better version of yourself with psychedelic or without psychedelic. There is like many different paths to reach back to the source.
Mm.